Have you ever wondered why some relationships thrive while others barely survive? What if I told you the secret to lasting love isn't about grand gestures or fairy tale moments? It's about something much deeper. Welcome to Heart Tales, where we unravel the mysteries of love one story at a time. Whether you're single, in a relationship, or just trying to figure it all out, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into the Two Childhood Friends love story, a dramatic twist in a friendship-turned-love story. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll see love in a whole new light. So grab a cozy blanket, maybe a cup of tea, and let's get started. Because here at Heart Tales, we believe every heart has a story worth telling. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and let's begin this journey together. They say childhood friendships are the purest form of love, but what happens when that love takes an unexpected turn? Meet Jake and Emily, best friends since they could barely walk. But as they grew up, something changed, a hidden truth, a devastating decision, and one moment that altered their fate forever. This is their story. Jake and Emily were inseparable. From the moment they met in preschool, they were each other's shadow. Through scraped knees and bedtime stories, through school projects and secret hideouts, their bond grew stronger with each passing year. But as they stepped into high school, something unspoken lingered between them. Jake felt it. Emily sensed it. They were no longer just best friends. They were something more, but neither dared to admit it. Teenage Jake and Emily sitting under a tree, Emily sketching in her notebook, Jake stealing glances at her. Jake had always been the confident one, the one who led their childhood adventures. But when it came to Emily, his courage melted. He had loved her for years. But what if she didn't feel the same way? Then came the day everything changed. A new student, Brandon, entered their school, charming, athletic, and effortlessly cool. Emily, being the kind-hearted person she was, welcomed him immediately. But Jake saw it. How Brandon looked at Emily, how Emily laughed at his jokes. A spark was forming, and Jake felt like an outsider in his own story. For weeks, Jake buried his feelings, convincing himself he was overreacting. But then, one fateful evening at a school bonfire, everything unraveled. Jake had finally mustered the courage to tell Emily how he felt. He searched for her, his heart pounding. And then he saw them. Emily and Brandon, standing under the fairy lights. Brandon leaned in and kissed her. It felt like the ground beneath Jake had shattered. His best friend, the girl he loved, was slipping away. From that night on, Jake changed. He became distant, colder. Emily noticed. She tried to talk to him, to ask what was wrong, but Jake shut her out. Months passed. Emily and Brandon's relationship blossomed, and Jake was nothing more than a bystander in the life they once shared. Until everything changed again. Brandon wasn't who she thought he was. He had been charming, yes, but he had also been playing a game. Emily discovered his betrayal, texts to another girl, empty promises, and lies stacked on top of each other. Her heart shattered, and the first person she thought of? Jake. Jake was shocked to see her there. She had been avoiding him just as much as he had been avoiding her. But now, standing in front of him, tears in her eyes, she wasn't just his best friend. She was the girl who had broken his heart. And yet, he couldn't let her hurt alone. Emily finally saw what had been right in front of her all along. Jake wasn't just her best friend, he was her home. With a shaky breath, she whispered, "Jake, I think I loved you all along." And just like that, the childhood story they had begun all those years ago had found its real ending. Love doesn't always announce itself with grand gestures. Sometimes it's hidden in the smallest moments, waiting for the right time to be seen. Jake and Emily's story wasn't about a love that suddenly appeared. It was about a love that had always been there. So tell me, have you ever had a childhood friend who meant more to you than you realized? Maybe, just maybe, your greatest love story is waiting right in front of you. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more love stories.